Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfella of Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
All right, man, we back. Goodfella Sports TV, and Carl Froch spoke on Gennady Golovkin, said he would have beat him up and stopped him, and he's been saying that for years. But he also revealed some things that I forgot, didn't know, or whatever it was about the negotiations that sound real familiarish on what Andre Ward said about Gennady Golovkin. So let's speak on it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And, Carl Froch said they was in negotiations, all right? And I'll link the boxing scene article in the description of the article link so you can check it out. He said they were in negotiations to fight, and he was out of the ring for a year. He retired. He had got up to 186 pounds, the lifetime heaviest he had ever been. And talks got serious between Golovkin, manager, and his team, and I think he was with Eddie Hearn. And he said that they wanted to try to get him down to 166. And he basically was telling him, like, shit, I can't make 166. It's going to be hard for me to get down to super middleweight. And he said he was a machine at 68. Now, Carl Froch, I don't think never fought outside of super middleweight, to my knowledge. I've been following his career for a while. And basically said Golovkin team didn't want to move up in weight. Said they didn't want to come up to 68, which is super middleweight. Said they wanted some type of competitive advantage at 166. And the same thing Andre Ward said. They said that he was trying to bring Golovkin was trying to bring Andre Ward down 164.5. And my whole thing is this. Let's go for Mayweather, Canelo, Pacquiao, Golovkin. Look here, if you can beat a motherfucker, we already got enough supers, all right? Supers, juniors, all that shit, man. With those being put in the game, that should eliminate catchweights. That should be a federal, international, national rule. No more catchweights. No more rehydration clauses unless the commissions put it in. Because what you telling me by taking a motherfucking down in weight with all these supers and juniors and shit going around and not doing it the original, I think, 8 weight classes, is that you're not confident. You need a competitive advantage. Canelo making Kovalev weigh in 3 times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you can beat him, you can beat him then. You know what I'm saying? If you can't beat him, then, hey, man, you don't need to take the fight. And Golovkin is trying to, force dudes to do stuff, but he ain't done nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like Lomachenko trying to, force Teofimo Lopez to fight in Vegas. Like, motherfucker, you don't have no clout. You don't have a fan base. If you did, you'd be fighting in the fucking Ukraine. Golovkin trying to call the shots like he a boss. He not a boss. You and Danny Jacobs pay-per-view did like 150,000. You know what I'm saying? Didn't he fight David Lemieux on pay-per-view too? I can't remember. So you trying to tell somebody, who fought Andre Ward, who fought Arthur Abraham, who fought John Pascal, who beat Lucien Bute when Andre Ward failed to take that fight and knocked him out. You trying to tell him what the fuck to do? He done did more than you. Beat Jermaine Taylor in America. Edge Anthony Durrell. I feel Durrell won that fight. Edged him. At the end of the day, what have you done to ask Andre Ward or Carl Froch, who went through a tournament that you dare not go through? You wouldn't go through that tournament at no point. You waited for Martinez to have one leg to come to America. So, like I said before, man, Golovkin, I've been seeing through him, so it doesn't shock me. Everybody else, why you don't like Golovkin? Why Golovkin can't be pound for pound? Because shit like that, he ain't never earned nothing. He ain't never earned nothing, bro. Everything he got was due to matchmaking. At the end of the day, you got to take the training wheels off the kid bike. And Tom Lawford never did that until he fought Canelo. Canelo wasn't no big risk fight for him. It was just it wasn't no risk because he was finally getting the money he wanted. Golovkin ain't done nothing to be pound for pound. Beat Danny Jacobs, that don't make you pound for pound. You barely did that. I was there that night. They wasn't going to let Chocolatito lose and Golovkin lose in Madison Square Garden. That's just a fact. So with them trying to kind of call the shots and what he done? You know what I'm saying? People just look at somebody's skin color. White people so desperate, bro. I'm just keep it real. White people so desperate for, in America, I'm not talking about UK guys. White people in America so desperate for another white, boxing champion, or they just so desperate for white athletes. I got Christian McCaffrey. Y'all done adopted Conor McGregor that they'd take anybody. And Golovkin ain't white. If anything, he a mix of Russian and Asian. They so desperate. They love Golovkin because he look like a white boy. That's it. If Golovkin was black, oh, he get all the hatred in the world. But to me, my favorite fighters, go up the scale. Donaire, Nuyuwa, you can keep going on and on. They different colors. Deontay, I like Deontay. Keep going on and on. Gary Russell. So, just letting y'all know what it is, man. People want to act dumbfounded about Golovkin's career. This is shit I'm talking about. If you really, in my Master P voice, bout it, why not move up to 68 and beat Carl Froch? And he was telling the dude in the article, whoever he was talking to, that, I've been dropped twice in my career. I think I dropped in a Taylor fight, too. He said I got up and won both of them. He said I've never been flattened like Amir Khan, so he had to take a Amir Khan shot. But Golovkin wasn't trying to fight nobody. And a little word to the mother. Peter Quillen said that they tried to offer him, what was it? $500,000 to fight Golovkin, I think it was. And they offered him $1 million to fight Winky Wright. So, is that a duck? If I get $1 million to fight an old ass Winky Wright, and they only offer me $500,000 to fight Golovkin, which fight you taking? You gonna take the Winky Wright fight? Ain't no way. Golovkin was trying to keep all the money for himself. Same thing. He didn't want to fight Derevyanchenko. That's a fact. The zone forced him to fight Derevyanchenko. You see why he got his ass whooped. But it's easy to look in hindsight and say what would have happened in a fight, because we see Triple G deficiencies. I mean, I think Gabriel Rosado showed some deficiencies in this game when he fought him. If you able to back him up and you able to throw multiple punches at Triple G put the earmuffs on. You know what I'm saying? And a guy that's scared to move out his comfort zone, move down and move up, he wanted everybody to accommodate him, I'm very wary of. But as far as how that fight kind of would have turned out, that'd be interesting, man. If Carl Froch can get back to Carl Froch, Golovkin ain't no Andre Ward. Golovkin don't want to go up 8 pounds, even though it's still 10-ounce gloves. So it wouldn't be an effect as far as the gloves. But his power wouldn't have been as effective. I'll tell you that right now. His power wouldn't have been as effective. But Carl Froch is there to be hit. The nose could have been broke. Eyes. Froch wasn't moving his head. So Golovkin would have been able to score some punches. But the thing about Carl Froch is Froch had a good chin. Froch had fought the better opposition at the time. And Froch would have probably threw a lot of combinations. And Froch would have pushed the speed of the combinations. And, he can box on the back foot a little bit for him. He can go on the front foot. I just think it could have went either way, because Golovkin had a really good jab. He probably would have, touched Froch to the body a little bit. But the difference is, you looking at it now, and I already knew these deficiencies was here. Anybody with a little bit of boxing brain, you can beat Golovkin. I mean, Martin Murray hung in there with him with 11 rounds. And Martin Murray, I mean, I think he barely a world-class fighter. And the Froch uppercut, I think I probably, looking at hindsight, I probably would take Froch. And I wouldn't be surprised if Froch got the stoppage. I wouldn't be surprised if Golovkin, moved up in weight and felt more comfortable and more stronger than he did. But he just would have been too small. He just too one-dimensional. He would have had to land some multiple punches on Froch to stop Froch. I mean, even at the body, I think Froch would have just been too much for him. But Froch been down, like I said. George Groves dropped him. You know what I'm saying? But he always got back up and then won. He get off. Now, that first fight was fishy the way they stopped that. I thought George Groves was gonna win, but Golovkin don't have Groves' skill set. But he got more power than him. But it'd been a real interesting fight, in my opinion, man. The fight I thought, I thought was gonna happen, but now that Golovkin wanted to fight, now that he wanted to fight at a catchweight, they just tell you everything you need to know. He's trying to drag Andre down to 164.5. He had his opportunities to put his stamp on boxing and fight some of the world's biggest names. He never did it. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how this dude made it through the amateurs fighting, Indian Darrell and Butte, where you couldn't pick your motherfuckers' opponents. But Golovkin was never that good. it was somebody they match made. They put guys in front of him they could look good against. And when they put guys in front of him he didn't look good against, like Danny Jacobs, it's because they thought Danny had a weak chin and Golovkin would overcome and knock him out. But his power was always overrated. You know what I'm saying? He ain't one of the bigger punchers. He got a good punching power, but he ain't no Julian Jackson. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. But he not hanging with none of the top middleweights throughout history, in my opinion. He not hanging with James. He ain't hanging with Roy. He ain't hanging with Bernard. Like, all of them beat the shit out of Golovkin. Let's just be real. When you go up to super middleweight, he ain't hanging with Andre. I think Kawasaki beat the shit out of Gennady Golovkin. I think Kessler could beat the shit out of Gennady Golovkin at his best. I seen them fight a lot of times. I seen them fight each other. So, he probably beat guys like Jeff Lacey. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't beat Michael Nunn. He not beating those guys. Carl Froch was good in his day. But he ain't beating them guys neither. But he fought an older Jermaine Taylor, but Jermaine Taylor just wasn't dedicated to his craft, and ultimately that caught up with him. And that's kind of what we was talking about with Errol Spence. In the beginning of your career, your body is able to, rehabilitate from all the abuse outside the ring and not living the fighter's lifestyle. But once you creep up to them 30s, dirty 30, then your body don't recoup, and then it start taking effect on you. But I see Carl. I probably favor Carl Froch looking in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't had no defense, so it wouldn't been no fight I'm putting my money on. That motherfucker, Squidward Froch, he blocked with his face. So if this was at 60, Golovkin I probably would have a easier time picking him because I know his power translate at 160. You know what I'm saying? I know his power translate, but at 68, going up 8 pounds, I don't think he gonna be that effective with his power. And he don't have a lot of speed and fluidity to his game, so he gonna be a little bit slower. Like I said, he just never was that good to me, man. I think people just pumped him up because powers always get overrated by fight fans. And like I said, man, it's been Shavers, Norton, Julian Jackson. You had some great punchers in boxing history, and if they all pretty much get beat, or somebody can take their power and go 12, I think anybody can take anybody power from that point on. This point on in boxing, so power always capture the fans. But when you knocking out bums and lower level fighters, you get to knocking out top fighters, that's when I know it's real. But I slightly favor Froch to stop Golovkin late or win a unanimous decision. But hey, let me know who you guys got. I put the boxing scene article in the description under article link. Don't forget me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram if you need to reach out. If you have a business question, query, sponsorship, or video request, want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal in the description. Appreciate everybody who do donate. Best way to donate for me is share the video. And when I have a channel update, I'll let you guys know about getting the old channel back. One time for the one time, Goodfellas Sports TV. We gone.